There are rituals so strange that they send chills down your spine, wearing gloves filled with venomous ants whose bites feel like being shot, yet still dancing joyfully, keeping the body of a deceased person at home and feeding it daily, piercing one's skin with hooks, and many other strange practices. Join me as we explore these strange and eerie customs from around the world. But first, don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with more fascinating content. First, we have the coming-of-age ceremony involving wearing gloves filled with venomous ants. The Satarima tribe in the Amazon rainforest of Brazil is famous for its grueling coming-of-age ritual. Young boys must endure wearing gloves filled with bullet ants, Paraponera clavata. The bullet ant is known to have one of the most painful stings in the insect world, often described as feeling like being shot, hence its name. This ritual is an essential part of a boy's transition into manhood in the Satarema community. Special gloves made from leaves are filled with bullet ants, and the boys must wear them and perform a dance for 10 to 20 minutes without showing any signs of pain, despite the continuous stings from the ants. This is to prove their courage, resilience, and ability to endure pain. It is perhaps one of the most extreme tests of endurance and self-control I have ever seen. Not only do they have to endure this once, but the boys must perform the ritual multiple times throughout their maturation before being recognized as adults in the community. Number 2, drinking elder men's semen. In the culture of the Sambia people of Papua New Guinea, a boy's transition into adulthood is not only about physical development, but also requires undergoing specific rituals. According to traditional customs, when boys reach about 7 years of age, they are separated from their families and live with the elder men of the tribe. This marks the beginning of a process that lasts around 10 years, during which they must partake in various rituals to demonstrate their strength, endurance, and maturity. One of the most important and controversial rituals involves the boys drinking the semen of the elder men in the tribe. The Sambia believe that this imparts strength and masculine qualities to the boys, helping them grow into strong, robust men. They view this practice as a way of transferring traits and strength from one generation to the next. Additionally, the boys are subjected to other painful trials, such as a ritual where sharp sticks are inserted into their noses until they bleed, believed to purify the body and soul. Although many human rights and psychological health researchers argue that these trials can cause long-term psychological and physical harm. To the Sambia, they are seen as an essential part of each boy's journey into manhood. Number 3, piercing objects through the body. The Nine Emperor Gods. The Nine Emperor Gods Festival is one of the most famous and striking festivals held annually in Phuket, Thailand. The festival usually takes place in September or October of the lunar calendar and lasts for 9 days. It is a time for Taoist believers and devotees to express their reverence for the gods through rituals of purification, prayer, and even self-inflicted pain. A particular highlight of the festival is the act of piercing objects through the body. Participants, often referred to as Ma Song, spirit mediums, pierce sharp objects through their cheeks, tongues, or other parts of the body. They may use items like knives, swords, metal rods, or even everyday objects like irons or bicycles. It is believed that this act shows devotion to the gods and helps cleanse sins, while also offering protection from illness and misfortune. During the festival, participants often enter a trance-like state and believe they are protected by the gods from feeling pain or suffering harm, even as sharp objects pierce their bodies. While this ritual may appear gruesome to many, for the participants, it is a way to display courage, resilience, and faith in the power of the gods. Number 4, living with the dead. The Toraja people of South Sulawesi, Indonesia, have a very unique perspective on death and the deceased. According to tradition, they believe that death is not the absolute end, but part of the cycle of life, and the relationship between the living and the dead continues. This belief is clearly reflected in their custom of caring for the corpses of the dead, a deeply spiritual practice. After someone dies, the body is not buried right away, but is often kept in the family home. Instead of considering the deceased as dead, they view them as sick or sleeping, and continue to care for the body daily. Family members will wash, dress, and feed the corpse as though the deceased were still alive. During this time, the family continues their normal social activities, with the deceased remaining part of their daily life. The body may be kept in the home for months, even years, until the family has saved enough money to hold a proper funeral. In Toraja culture, funerals are grand, significant events involving many guests, offerings, and elaborate ceremonies. Only after the funeral is the deceased truly considered to have left this world. In addition, the Toraja have a unique ritual known as manene, or the ceremony of changing clothes for the dead. Every few years, families exhume the bodies of their deceased loved ones, clean them, dress them in new clothes, and comb their hair before holding a remembrance ceremony. The corpse is then returned to its grave, and the process repeats every few years, symbolizing the unending bond between the living and the dead. This practice illustrates the deep connection the Toraja people maintain with their ancestors, viewing death not as an end, but a transition into another state of being. Number 5. Lip stretching. The lip-stretching custom of the Mursi and Surma tribes in Ethiopia is one of the most distinctive traditional practices in the Omo Valley region. This custom primarily applies to young girls between the ages of 15 and 18 as a symbol of maturity and readiness for marriage. The process begins by removing some of the lower teeth to create space for the lower lip to be pierced. After the piercing, the girls start wearing small clay or wooden plates in the lip, which are gradually replaced with larger plates to stretch the lip over time. The lower lip can eventually stretch enough to accommodate plates with a diameter of 5 to 6 inches, which is about 12 to 15 centimeters, or even larger. In Mursi and Surma culture, the lip plate holds significant meaning. It is considered a symbol of beauty, social status, and a way for a girl to demonstrate her readiness for marriage. The larger the lip plate, the more beautiful and valuable the girl is considered in the community. This can also help her family receive a larger bride price when she marries. Although this custom still exists, it has diminished in some communities due to globalization and cultural change. Today, some young girls are no longer required to follow the tradition as strictly as before, especially as external influences introduce new cultural values. Number 6. Tower jumping. On Pentecost Island, part of the Vanuatu archipelago in the Pacific Ocean, the locals perform an extraordinary and dangerous coming-of-age ritual called naghol, or land diving. This ritual is a significant part of the local culture, particularly for men, and serves as a way to prove their bravery and maturity. During the naghol ceremony, young men must climb a wooden tower about 65 to 100 feet high, or about 20 to 30 meters, which is built from tree trunks and vines. Once at the top, they tie vines to their ankles and jump towards the ground. The challenge is that the vines must be carefully measured to be short enough so the diver does not hit the ground, but long enough to provide a thrilling and heart-stopping sensation as they come close to the earth. Although it resembles modern bungee jumping, the naghol ritual is much more dangerous because the vines have no elasticity, and the tower is constructed entirely with traditional techniques without the reliability of modern equipment. A slight miscalculation in vine length or tower construction could lead to severe injuries or even death. Participating in this ritual is a crucial milestone in the lives of Vanuatu's young men. After successfully completing the jump, they are recognized as having matured, becoming strong and brave enough to take on greater roles and responsibilities in the community. The people of Vanuatu believe that land diving brings good harvests, particularly for their staple crop, sweet potatoes. The Naghol ceremony is held annually from April to June, coinciding with the start of the sweet potato season. Number 7. Wife-stealing tradition. The Wadabe tribe, which primarily resides in the Sahel region of Africa, is known for its vibrant and unique Garawal festival, which takes place every year. One of the tribe's most remarkable customs during this festival is wife-stealing. At the festival, men paint their faces with red, white, or yellow pigments, wear jewelry, and dress in colorful clothing to participate in a traditional dance called yake. The purpose of the dance is to showcase their beauty, charm, and strength. What makes the festival truly unusual is that, alongside celebrating beauty, it is also an opportunity for married individuals to find new partners. In Wadabe society, the tradition of wife-stealing allows couples to form new relationships during the festival, even if they are already married. If a woman agrees, she can leave her current husband and begin a new relationship. While this may seem strange to many cultures, it is accepted and regarded as part of the social norms within the tribe. However, this practice often leads to tensions and conflict among the men in the tribe. The fierce competition to win a woman's affection sometimes results in physical confrontations. There have been instances where fights over a wife at the festival have escalated into violent brawls, even resulting in fatalities. Number 8. Finger amputation. The Dani people of West New Guinea, Indonesia, have a unique tradition in which they amputate their fingers to express grief when a loved one passes away. For them, physical pain is seen as a reflection of deep emotional suffering and respect for the deceased. When someone dies, some Dani women voluntarily cut off one or more of their fingers to show their sorrow. They believe that this act helps soothe the soul of the deceased and symbolizes the bond between the living and the dead. The process is carried out under strict supervision with the participation of family members. Before the amputation, the finger is tightly bound to reduce blood flow, and then it is severed using a knife or axe. The amputated finger is burned to prevent infection. Despite the excruciating pain, the Dani people believe that this is a way to manifest the deep grief they feel when losing a family member. Today, this practice has been banned by the Indonesian government and is rarely performed. However, it remains a part of the cultural memory of the Dani people, a significant aspect of their history and spiritual heritage. In addition to finger amputation, Dani men have another tradition related to their traditional attire. They often wear kotekas, which are penis sheaths made from dried gourd shells. The koteka is not only a covering, but also a cultural symbol, reflecting one's status, age, and sometimes marital standing. The shape and size of the koteka vary depending on the group or social circumstances. Number 9. Body Hooking Festival. The Thai Pusam festival, celebrated by Hindus, especially in Malaysia, Singapore, India, and Thailand, is one of the most intense religious festivals. The festival honors the goddess Parvati, who bestowed a divine spear upon the god Murugan, the god of war, to defeat the demon Surapadman. Thai Pusam is held in the month of Thai in the Hindu calendar, typically in late January or early February. Devotees, mostly men, demonstrate their devotion by piercing their bodies with sharp hooks, such as through their cheeks, tongues, backs, and chests. They believe that enduring pain is a form of penance and a way to show loyalty to Murugan, as well as to pray for blessings and strength. A key ritual in the festival is carrying a kavadi, which is a large structure adorned with flowers and religious symbols. Kavadi can be carried on the shoulders or attached to the body using metal hooks that pierce the skin. Not only do the devotees endure physical pain, but they also bear the heavy weight of the kavadi, sometimes weighing dozens of kilograms, as they walk long distances to Murugan's temple. Many participants enter a trance-like state, believing they are protected by the gods and feel no pain. They believe that by enduring this suffering, they purify their souls and reach spiritual enlightenment. Before participating in the festival, devotees undergo days of fasting and abstinence in preparation. 10. Self-Punishment Festival. The Ashura festival of Shia Muslims is held on the 10th of Muharram, the first month of the Islamic calendar, to commemorate the death of Imam Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, in the Battle of Karbala in 680 AD. This event is profoundly symbolic and marks a significant turning point in the split between the two main branches of Islam, Shia and Sunni. During the Ashura festival, participants engage in acts of self-flagellation, using whips or chains with attached knives to strike their backs and chests, reenacting the pain and suffering that Imam Hussein and his followers endured. They believe that enduring physical pain is a way to express solidarity with Imam Hussein's sacrifice and to show their loyalty to Islam. Some participants also beat themselves with their hands or pound their chests, symbolizing their sorrow and grief. The world is rich with diverse customs, and only through deep exploration can we discover the beauty hidden within each ritual, even if they sometimes evoke feelings of fear. What do you think about these rituals? Should they be preserved as an integral part of cultural identity, or is it time to adapt them to the modern era? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel to continue exploring fascinating aspects of the world around us.